It's really designed to be an experiential track for luxury brand management. The idea was that it would be a logical progression, so much so as in hospitality is quite related to the service sector, and hospitality lends itself very well in some ways to the luxury segment and the luxury industry.
We decided to launch a new specialization in luxury because we thought it was an ideal fit for Lyon, for the profile of the students, and also obviously the luxury industry is growing very rapidly, and a big part of that obviously is the hospitality luxury sector.
Luxury brands today and companies are looking at hospitality students because they know that it is the customer that's important in the future, and the consumer of luxury is important, and this consumer focus is what our students can give them through their soft skills and so on.
I chose the luxury pathway because I've always been attracted by this industry, which I think is a mysterious industry selling dreams, and I wanted to have an insight of this industry. I believe that behind every product there is a lot of people involved, qualified and experts, to provide the best experience to the customers.
What I really like in the luxury industry is obviously the products, and I think it's a very unique opportunity to be able to work in the headquarters of these companies who produce all these magnificent objects.
What we learn on an everyday basis in class are the theories, which are the basic of this industry. I think that it will allow us to have strong foundations for our future career when we will be on the field and put those theories into practice.
The idea is to give them a holistic view of luxury brand management as a whole, and to give them the necessary tools that they need to go out into the industry and be able to get a job and to contribute to the industry.
The Lyon School prepares very well on what is linked on client experience, which is already a great asset for us. Then the specialization gives you the possibility to understand what this luxury environment. You really need these people who can make the difference and think out of the box.
What I enjoy the most within that specialization is when we have experts coming to the school to give talks. It's really interesting to have an insight of the luxury industry and to get recommendations and advices from them.
It's really important to be linked to a school, especially a school like Lyon, because we can learn each other. If the company can provide the right tips to build the right program, then for sure when I do the interview with the students, we are aligned.
The whole track is designed to be very experiential in that we try to give the students as much information and experience in terms of the industry itself.
I was working at a quartier in New York on 59th Street and 5th Avenue, the flagship store. There are three main flagship stores in the world, and you see sales reaching from a few $100s to many millions.
I did my second internship at Parfum Christian Dior in London at the LVMH headquarters. I was the PR assistant within the public relations department.
I started in accessories and then moved to watches, to bridal, to diamonds and high jewelry as well. So a key aspect of my internship was meeting the clients, knowing about the products, and it was challenging every day to have the answers to their questions. Since I would like to work into management, I found the in-store experience really valuable.
So I was in charge of organizing events, of being in contact with the medias. I also had the opportunity to meet the official perfumer of Parfum Christian Dior, François Desmachis. Meeting him was very valuable because within that short amount of time that I had with him, I learned a lot about the brand, the history, and what was the inspiration behind his creation of the perfumes.
One of the big parts of luxury obviously is the design and aesthetic elements, and so therefore we decided to work with Domus, and we have a really good team down there. It's a design school, so they're very heavily into the design elements.
The workshop in Milan was very interesting. I think the most important part was putting to practice what we've learned in Bulle.
We had many different classes which were extremely interesting and brought a lot of new knowledge to us. So for instance, we had some customer relationship management class, we had some design classes.
Students have a little bit of a less theoretical approach, and they are actually working on a real brief, decided and constructed with the company. Whatever the brand is, the focus will always be retail. The schedule of the student is a mix of lectures, always given by professional people. Visits, so we had them visit many stores, highlighting what they were supposed to observe, looking for best practices from either competitors of the brand, but also what we call inspirational best practice.
It gave us an opportunity to really understand what is the current market. The fact of going into the different boutiques in Milan allowed us to seek the collections, to talk to the sales associates, and really have a clear idea of what is the industry.
It was 2 amazing weeks, but also challenging because it was a different way of working, of developing a project.
It has definitely made me want to stay in the luxury good industry.
In the luxury industry, I really enjoyed the whole experience, and this is something that was even more emphasized in Domus. Going further than the business side of the luxury industry, the design side of it is also extremely important and so valuable. It's an industry where there is no limit, where everything is possible, and that there is always room for improvement, there is always room for a new idea, for a new concept, which is why I see myself in the luxury industry now and in the future.